You would not believe what the Secret Service just said regarding the failed assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. Now, I want to cover what just went on, what we have learned over the past 24 hours, and why the Secret Service is in hot water at this time. A lot of people have been speculating that the Secret Service knew something could potentially happen, but was a little bit delayed with their response. Okay, that's what people have been speculating. Well, today I want to uncover what has just been said. So make sure you stick around and watch this entire video, and I'll explain exactly what is going on. But all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So what do we know regarding the failed assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump? Well, here's the first thing that we just started learning. That the former President Donald Trump's security was tightened on Iran plot intelligence. Okay, we do not know if this was linked to the shooting, but it says the Secret Service had shared some information with the Trump campaign. It says U.S. tracking threats since the 2020 killing of Iran's Soleimani. What you need to understand is that because of the threats that they were receiving, that the Trump campaign actually increased security at this event. But here's what gets really interesting. The Secret Service also comes out and says, well, we warned former President Donald Trump that holding events outside, they're very dangerous. So they are pretty much putting the blame on him for what happened. Well, here's where things get even more interesting. We are now learning that a sniper took pictures of at the Trump rally. He took pictures of the shooter, and they say they saw him use a rangefinder before the assassination attempt, according to multiple sources. This report just came out today, that we are now hearing that some snipers saw this person with a rangefinder. A rangefinder is used to dictate and to determine how far away a person is, or in the terms of golf, how far away you are from the tee. In shooting, as a sniper, you use this to determine how far away your target is. Okay? Because if you are a long ways away, there are things called bullet drop, okay, where the bullet will drop after, because again, it doesn't go straight until it hits a target, right? It just doesn't do that. Eventually the bullet, it comes out of the gun and it will drop. Okay, it's bullet drop, and it depends on how far away the target is. So a rangefinder could be used to determine how high up somebody has to aim in order to hit their target. Again, I don't know if this is really what the person was that involved, that knowledgeable about shooting. Obviously, the person was, but if so, yes, they could potentially use a rangefinder. Now, I want to read you some of this article though. Okay, and the reason why I want to read this to you, and then we're going to talk about what the Secret Service just said, what billionaire Elon Musk is now pretty much throwing the Secret Service under the bus and saying that they are completely lying to us. But let me read this to you first, okay? Look at this. It says, a sniper from a local tactical team deployed to assist the U.S. Secret Service at former President Donald Trump's rally on Saturday took a picture of the gunman and saw him looking through a rangefinder minutes before he tried to assassinate the former president. It says the sniper was one of 3 snipers, members of a local tactical team who were stationed inside the building that the shooter was used in the attack. It says the operations plan had them stationed inside, looking out the windows towards the rally, scanning the crowd. That was their job, scanning the crowd. Okay? Now, here's the reason why they were inside the building as opposed to being on top of it. Look at this. It says, Trump assassination attempt. Secret Service director faces new heat for a sloped roof comment. It says Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle explains why personnel weren't on top of a building that the shooter fired from. It was because the building was too sloped. Look at this right here. It says that building in particular had a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof. And so, the decision was made to secure the building from the inside. From the inside. Well, I want to show you this. This right here is the building to the right shoulder of former President Donald Trump. These were the snipers that were set up on it. Look at that slope on that roof. Okay, look at that. That's pretty sloped to me. I'd assume that was a sloped roof. I'd assume this one right here is a sloped roof as well. According to Elon Musk, that looks very slopey. It says just a picture of a Secret Service agent standing on the roof of the White House. Now, I've been up on many roofs. I've done some roofing and just different inspections on real estate and things like that. And if you are going up on a sloped roof, usually there's going to be some like tie down that you can latch yourself into, throw on a harness, and so if you slip, you don't fall off the roof, right? Safety measures. Well, that's probably what they should have done, because this is the sloped roof that they are discussing. This one right here, you can see right here. Okay, I'll zoom in just a little bit. You can see right here, this is the shooter. Okay, he is deceased at this point, but they are still arresting him. Now, this roof does not look very sloped. Okay, and they say it was sloped at the highest point. Here is where he's at. It doesn't look sloped to me. These people, the military personnel, the police officer, their knees are not that bent. And that's how you know if it's sloped. You would have to have your knees bent. Okay? It's not that sloped. Now, with that said, let's keep reading this. Okay? I'm going to keep reading this for you. Look at this. It says, one sniper inside spotted the gunman, Thomas Matthew Crooks, outside and looking up at the roof, observing the building and disappearing. So they saw him, they took pictures of him, and then he disappeared. It says the sniper observed Crooks as he returned to the building, sat down and looked at his phone. That's normal, right? No big deal. He went away, came back, sat down, pulled out his phone. Okay. It's at that point that one of the snipers took a picture of Crooks. It says next, the local sniper observed Crooks looking through a rangefinder. That right there should be a red flag. It says an instrument routinely used by marksmen to determine the distance of a target, and he immediately radioed to the command post. It says according to a local law enforcement officer, it says the local sniper also attempted to send the photo to the gunman up to the chain of command. Okay, did everything they need to do. Goes on to say, the command post, according to multiple law enforcement officials, served as a central hub to streamline communication between U.S. Secret Service and the local officers from a nearby state and county police forces. It's unclear if the command post received the alert. This is where things get very interesting. Okay, I want to show you this. It says right here, officials then lost track of Crooks, who disappeared, but soon returned for a third time with a backpack. So the first time they see him, right, he goes away. Comes back, he sits down, pulls out his phone, then he pulls out a rangefinder. He disappears. He comes back again, this time with a backpack. This is when the local sniper team called for backup, alerting the command post that the gunman had a backpack and was walking toward the back of the building. Okay. It says by the time the other local officers responded to the backup request, the gunman had scaled the building, positioned himself above and behind the local snipers inside the building, according to the officer. This is where things really picked up. Look at this. It says, two other municipal police officers who heard the call for backup attempted to climb onto the roof. Okay? It says that the armed municipal officer with Butler Township was hoisted by another officer onto the roof of the building where the gunman had taken a position. It says Crooks focused his rifle towards the officer, who ultimately let go of the building, falling off the roof, and moments later the shooter began firing into the crowd. Now, I just want to, I've been reading a lot of these different articles, hearing people's accounts of what happened. And based off of what happened, again, we're still piecing this together and getting videos, and the FBI is going to have a lot more information here very soon, hopefully. But according to all the accounts and the videos from TikTok and Instagram and X and Twitter, whatever you want to call it, when you piece it all together, here's what it sounds like happened. The shooter, okay, who ultimately is deceased, he was most likely crawling up onto the roof. He was perched up there, and based off of what the snipers for former President Donald Trump are saying, is that they couldn't see a weapon. So chances are the weapon was down on his side. He was looking up, trying to look over the building. And in doing so, again, if a sniper doesn't see a weapon, they're not going to shoot. It's just somebody there trying to take a look, right? That's at least what they're thinking. Well, my guess is, based off of everything that I've heard and read, is the shooter would have likely heard somebody coming up behind him. He likely turned around, but that's when he pointed the weapon at the police officer that was coming up behind him. That's when the police officer freaked out, let go, fell off the roof. Okay? At this point, this is likely why former President Donald Trump was not assassinated, was because this police officer saw something, decided to take a look. And as soon as they looked over the edge of the roof, saw somebody pointing a gun at them, right, fell off. Chances are the shooter, Crooks, he most likely was in a rush to get a shot off before a sniper were to take him out. And so likely what happened, he turned his weapon, faced it at the former president, and shot as quickly as possible. That is why he took 8 shots. Okay? Because a quality sniper from 160 yards away is not going to need 8 shots to hit their target. They'd only need 1, especially if you had all the equipment. You had the rangefinder. It was a good day. Right? It was a clear day. And so that's why some are saying that this police officer and those snipers that decided to actually take action may have just saved former President Donald Trump's life. But again, the reason why I bring all this up is because the Secret Service is blaming, or the Secret Service director is blaming, a sloped roof because of why people were not up there. They're also saying how it took about 2 minutes from the time people were saying that, hey, there's a guy on the roof, for the shots to actually come across. And then from that point, it was like 40 some seconds later, after all that interaction happened, from that point to when the actual Secret Service member took the shot and pretty much ended the life of the shooter, it was 40 some seconds, like 42 seconds. So again, at this time, the Secret Service is trying to answer these questions, and the answers that they're giving just don't add up. And this is why some are highly concerned about what could potentially happen in the near future. Maybe to former President Donald Trump, or to our current President Joe Biden. Again, it shouldn't be a political motive here. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm a Democrat, I'm gonna side with Democrats on this one. Right? It should be a safety concern. And this is why I want to bring this one up. Because when Elon Musk posted this, I thought that, yes, this is, well, it's easily understandable. Look at this. It says, visual approximation of Secret Service Director's Cheeto's foolproof assassination protection strategy. They put a Cheeto in a lock. That's going to keep that door shut. Yeah, maybe. We don't know. Well, that's where I will leave you guys today. Again, it's an interesting thing that is happening right now. We're starting to hear more and more of these updates and reports. All I can tell you right now is somebody is going to pay the price for this. We don't know exactly who, but somebody will eventually. So, as we get more information on that, I promise I will bring you all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.